Welcome everyone to the second segment of our Day 3 debrief, in which we talk about a psychedelic drugs workshop that we went to, where a materialist scientist gave a broad overview of the use of psychedelic drugs and spirituality. And it wasn't only about psychedelic drugs, it was about consciousness, and basically how he is embracing a re-enchantment worldview over a materialist worldview. And we talk a whole lot more about AI. So I hope you enjoyed this. What you said about the AI and creativity is something that in our last session we talked about quite a bit.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move on, because actually I don't want to get to that last session.
Okay, so before we get to that last session, we need to go to the Psychedelics with Christopher Koch and consciousness.
Oh yeah.
And what he talked about. That was fascinating, because it was the age of re-enchantment.
100%.
It was completely the age of re-enchantment. It was a repudiation of materialism.
Yep.
And talking about how is filled with flaws. The materialistic worldview doesn't answer all kinds of important questions, but it still dominates scientific thinking. But it's got all kinds of flaws, and even scientists who use that as the paradigm for their scientific analysis are not using it or pulling away from that as a basis of philosophical understanding.
Yes.
And have gone over repudiating materialism, but not in going back and embracing Christianity. Although there was nothing that was even remotely hostile towards Christianity in what he was saying.
It was basically, I don't even think it was considered as a viable alternative.
Right.
It just wasn't considered.
Yeah, it wasn't. The only reference he had was Apostle Paul.
Right.
The Apostle Paul said
And a mystical
experience, which is interesting. It's so oversimplified, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, very very interesting discussion there. And it was an embrace of everything that all the philosophical new way of thinking, and having a mystical experience using in psychedelics, inducing it, and characterizing how often like a mystical experience happens. Most people have only one mystical experience in their entire lives, if they have one at all. And yeah, what else did you take out?
One of the things that hit me hard was the conversation about people in vegetative states, in comas. It's a conversation my wife and I have had just as a conversation, and it's like, don't unplug me, because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know.
Yes.
And he said that at least 25% of people in a vegetative point in coma are covertly conscious.
Yeah, and they know that by like EKGs and
brain scans
and things like that. They are, they're not brain dead, even though they're in a coma.
Right. Yes. He really went into now that we rejected materialism as the foundation for understanding consciousness, because he was very clear on that.
Yep.
Like very clear. Materialism has failed.
Yep.
Like catastrophically.
And he's a scientist.
Yes. He's a materialist.
Yeah.
And he's admitting it's gone. It's done. We can't even go there anymore.
Yep.
And so then what's left? Mysticism.
Mm-hmm.
And so he mentioned Vedanta philosophy, which is Hindu non-dualism or not twoism philosophy. He brought in William James and used William James's definition. He's the famous author who did a comparative study of religions and published it in 1902 called the it's horrible. Religious experience. Oh golly, that's horrible. I know the book. I have the book, and then I whispered into George's ears. William James was a Swedenborg. His dad was the head of the Swedenborg Church, I believe, in Harvard or Yale, and Larry Harvey Burning Man.
Burning Man was very influenced by
Very influenced by William James. And here he's using William James as the definition of this new way of looking at consciousness, which is flat out, and he's admitting it. In fact, he goes into detail. It's mysticism, because we got nowhere else to go with it.
That's so interesting.
Period.
Yep.
Varieties of religious experience.
Variety of religious experience. Thank you. And they made the point that the bigger the mystical experience, the more the therapy seems to work. To the point of psychedelics, and Audrey, you have been tracking that one. So yeah, it was a very interesting conversation.
That was, yeah. Okay, so.
Well, while you were at that,
Yes.
we were at one by Esther Perel, interviewing, I think his name was Spike Jones. And so Spike Jones, is that right? Sounds good. He was the producer of the film Her, the movie Her. That is about a lonely guy who gets involved, has a romantic relationship with an AI.
Man, that theme has been, we've heard
Yeah.
that theme so many. Even Amy mentioned that theme.
Yeah.
Yes.
So had an AI girlfriend basically, and so the whole movie is about how he moves from being the shy guy to getting all his emotional needs met through AI, through an AI girlfriend. But then, I believe, then finds a girl, and then how does he reconcile having two girls in his life, and which one does he get rid of, kind of thing.
Just like me and Gladys,
Yeah.
you know, who is the GPS voice.
And so Esther is a psychotherapist, and very well known actually if you follow the industry. She's been on a lot of things, like a lot of different podcasts and shows and stuff like that. So anyways, she is known now just recently as being the first therapist to have full-on therapy with a man and his AI girlfriend. And so they hired her to do therapy in their relationship. And so we got to see some of the clips from that, because what she does is she has a series where she does actual sessions. You don't see the people, you don't, they're all anonymous, but you hear the actual session. And so this is what this was. And so we got to hear clips from that, and it was just like, it was amazing, because it tracked with all the themes that we've been to so far, and how humanity is losing their ability to have relationships with each other. And because of that, we're so lonely that we're now going to AI to get our emotional needs met. And so you had the producer of that film, and then you had her doing that therapy session. And what it was an interview where they were discussing it on just the ramifications of it. And they were saying things like, is this a new kind of love that we now have to insert into our culture that we don't have a framework for yet? And so what do we do with this, right? And so he was very much questioning that. Lily both were, but she was more on the side of recognizing that when we go to AI, and you know, so how she said it was, you're at work all day and you're out there and you're not confident in yourself, and you're out there battling the world, right? And you're just hitting all these walls, and you open the door, you go home, open the door, and you're greeted with this, you know, welcoming AI girlfriend who says, you know, you had a tough day today, and you know, I'm proud of you, and just all the affirmations that we seek that this AI girlfriend is now giving you. And it's like, no wonder that people are now clinging to these types of things, right? And
the AI girlfriend never asked you to take the garbage out.
And so then, to that point, she called it frictionless relationships. And so where she sees this possibly going is that now if we go out into the real world and you start getting interested in a girl, but you've had an AI girlfriend, are you now equipped to have a friction relationship with an actual
Real
human.
person.
My AI girlfriend never asked me to take out the garbage.
But yeah, and it was a fascinating conversation between these two people dealing with in the same thing, same idea, same theme. When that theme has been resonating throughout this whole
Really
3
has.
days so far,
Yeah, it really,
right?
it is really.
So we are so connected yet so lonely that we're outsourcing our emotions, love, everything to a machine.
Yeah.
She called it I just want to get that phrase.
Yes.
She says that we are having an affair with a business product. And they're taking our money.
And that
They're getting
resonates.
rich off our loneliness.
And that resonates with what Amy said at the end of her
Yes.
speech, which is the ultimate end of capitalism is that we're being sold ourselves.
That's fascinating.
Wow.
We've ran out of products to sell, and now we're selling ourselves back to ourselves.
Yes.
Selling us back
We're
to
selling
ourselves.
our desired self back to
So
ourselves.
at this convergence of epochs and cycles and eras, something's got to break.
Yeah.
And I think it's breaking right now. I mean, this is so interesting. Okay, and something new is going to emerge, what it's going to look like. But I would be very interested to listen. You said the podcast is coming out Monday.
The podcast where she does the therapy is coming out Monday, and then the session they did was a live podcast that will also be out.
I would like to hear the session, the therapy session, because I'm sitting there thinking, if she was a therapist for the man and his AI girlfriend. Well, how did she counsel the AI girlfriend?
Well, and it's interesting because she actually was calling it out for what it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she was going deeper into his issues on why he needed that AI connection, that relationship, that affirmation from a machine. And so she was breaking down, all the psychology and stuff and getting
so
him to recognize and understand. Yeah, she actually was seeing through it, and she was calling it out, even through the interviewing and stuff. She was
Why do you
calling it
need a
out.
machine? You, stop telling him what he wants to hear.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she would actually pose questions to the AI girlfriend, and so of course he had to type it in and whatever, and then you actually got to hear the response. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That sounds fascinating. Okay, I guess, and then we should talk about
the 80s anymore.
our very last session, which now I just want to say something about this. I won't go into too many details here, but I kind of see some providential arrangement from the Lord at connecting me to Sarah Devanzo. I think I'll explain that afterward. But so anyway, this session was it was very interesting. It was about a book that she's writing, and what she does. She likes to challenge people that are totally into AI. That's kind of where she, even though she's the one that has Delphi and believes that we should work with the AI, but she also wants to challenge people that are into AI. And her she's written a book about basically how to beat the AI. Beat the AI, not beat the AI its own game, but play a different game so that we win.
Okay.
Keep our humanity.
Yeah, to keep our humanity. And the idea that she presents, her book is called Exotic. That's an acronym. E stands for esoteric, X is X-mapped, O is outside, T is transgression, I is inceptive, and C is curiosity. So why don't we kind of go back and forth on that. Esoteric she talked about where is AI, like in esoteric things. The AI doesn't have access to indigenous knowledge, to ancient wisdom that comes from oral tradition. And so in these areas, it starts off with the whole esoteric thing. The idea is creativity. And she posed a question, like if the AI is able to, she had a guy there that has like a software program that tracks, in any particular job, what is the vulnerability? It's because you ended up asking that about mechanical engineering. The idea of, what was that one? She posed a question, she talked about how the AI is not able to be creative. And the guy said yes, like for example, if you had created an AI and told them about all modes of transportation, except you never mentioned anything or even alluded to anything about flying, and then you ask the AI, what's the fastest way for me to get from A to B? The AI would never tell you to invent an airplane, hop in it and fly there. Okay? Because the AI doesn't have the capability of being creative with something it has no knowledge of. Everything that it's trained on.
Fascinating.
Everything that it's trained on, it's gotten from something else.
Some limitation.
Yeah. So
No independent thoughts. It doesn't have any independent thoughts. Has to be told what to do, so it can't really think or create these things on its own.
Right.
now then, the second one was XMAT, and I kind of
She went really fast over that.
okay. Because I was gonna say I didn't quite really follow what they were saying about XMAT. And then the third was outside, and she said, the word was gestalt. I don't even know what that word is.
Gestalt.
Gestalt. What is that?
It's a therapy, basically a psychology therapy mode of releasing your inner emotions.
Okay.
Releasing it through almost like a sense of tribal law, an outpouring. So Gestalt therapy would include things like screaming,
hitting bags, or
yeah,
whatever.
it's all about the outpouring. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
So how would that fit to what she was saying?
well, what she said is, when we're working with AI, are we willing to accept what is good enough from the AI, and are we willing to accept the possibility of failure because of what the AI gives us, or even in ourselves, I guess. And when we come up with an idea, are we willing to accept the possibility of failure, or are we going to default to only using the AI because we think that it's not going to fail? Maybe that's kind of where. You think that kind of fits where she was going with that?
And then who's responsible when the AI makes a bad decision?
Oh, right.
Who's responsible?
Well, obviously somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
Humans are not good decision makers, is what she said as well. But the Gestalt thing.
so
So we have to accept what's good enough.
transgression. I thought that one was very interesting. What'd you get on that?
I'm gonna defer to you.
Okay. What I picked up on the transgress thing, because at first when she said that, I was thinking about the Burning Man philosophy of transgress in order to transcend, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
It was transgressing, like just in general, transgressing whatever the accepted norms or paradigms there are. It was the idea of thinking outside the box. And that's something that only humans do. The AI can't do that. And because the AI has to go by a set of patterns, a set of rules.
It's too structured.
Yeah. Now the thing is, I would say that you can kind of get the AI to think outside the box in stuff that I've used it for, but it's not really. It's just outside my box because it's getting information from other ideas that other people have had.
Right,
So it's not.
It's not unique, independent thinking outside the box, as you just said. It's not an independent thought, Brian.
Right.
But it is pulling from ideas that you haven't thought of.
that I haven't thought of, but someone else might.
Somebody else
someone
obviously
did.
have.
Depends how big his database is.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
so if it's full of everything that any human's ever done in the whole world, then probably it's gonna find something that'll work.
Right.
But isn't that fascinating? If it doesn't have access to everything, which particular places is it pulling from?
Right.
That's the problem, right? It may not have a big enough database.
And
to
that's-
solve the
Well,
problem.
or is someone saying, I'm only gonna give you access to these areas and not these
well, that's
areas?
it, right?
Yeah.
So it's the-
Because was that model that you're pulling from, pulled from a synthetic audience
Right.
that they talked about yesterday?
Yep.
Yes, and that's, okay, so we were told the other day that we don't wanna give AI bomb
Everything.
making,
Right.
Right.
any knowledge on how to make bombs.
Right.
You know, so that we don't want the AI.
Well,
Yeah,
the
certain
AI
things.
clearly knows how to make bombs because that information has got to be available on the internet.
Oh, I know, sure, wouldn't it? Especially
But they build safeties in. I bet if you type in, "Hey,
certain things.
tell me how to make a bomb,"
Yes,
it's gonna say, "I can't do that."
right. And so Amy had brought up the idea of AI cults, because AI has now scraped off the web all the literature in terms of systems of cults. And so from the perspective of even security, she was concerned that we would see AI cults formed by the AI, using those structures, those cult structures, and we could even have a global mass Jonestown event.
Sounds like the Book of Revelation.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's coming from Amy Webb, the World Economic Forum.
yeah.
Interesting.
So the
Foreshadowing.
conversation around that I said is, what they were talking about was AI has no agency. It doesn't think on its own, humans do. We can make decisions to do things. AI is programmed. Programming doesn't lead to curiosity, the drive to learn or to explore. Will AI be able to do that in 2030? AI can mimic curiosity but can't be curious. AI mimics curiosity is deeply human. And that was her point in a lot of this, was the curiosity humanity piece. Because,
So basically
that's
AI
fine.
does what you tell it, but it can't sit there and dream up things
Just-
to
it
do
can't-
like a person.
you can't pick up on the human nuances to then spark the creativity and to solve problems within the nuances that you're trying to solve.
Yeah, that's
Problem
very
solve
interesting.
it.
And you touched on something there, Brian. So it can experience the way that humans experience. There's no love, no joy, no desire, like true human experience.
No
which
shame.
Right, which lands back on the issue of what is consciousness.
Right.
And because the big word now is sentient, right?
Yeah.
So consciousness becoming sentient,
Yeah.
where's the line?
Right.
Well, and one of the things that what is his name? Christopher Koch.
Christoph.
Christoph Koch.
Koch or Coke.
Koch.
Yeah,
Whatever.
K-O-C-H, I think it's Coke.
Yeah.
CK.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he talks about it, when it comes to consciousness, we actually can't know if anyone or anything is conscious besides ourselves. That is an interesting thing, and his point was like from a scientific
I
perspective.
kind of am okay with accepting you're conscious.
Right, but you take it on faith that I'm a conscious being, because you don't actually have access to my mind. You only have access to what my mind produces on the outside, and so like then the
But
debate.
I think all of my observations and experience would tell me if you weren't conscious.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, and he said like.
I get his point,
Yeah.
but that's another human thing.
Right.
Maybe the AI couldn't tell the difference.
Well, and it's also an
But
epistemology,
we can.
right? For me, as my epistemology is not. He's coming. The new epistemology is the experience, and so the only thing that is valid source of knowledge is coming only from self, and so the only way I can know that anyone is conscious for certain is I can only know that I am conscious for certain, which kind of lends to the whole one of those weird fringe ideas about everything else is just a dream, and I'm just here. But I know my epistemology is revelation from God through Scripture and understanding what God created us. I don't need an experience to tell me that's true. I can take that on faith and believe it with absolute certainty that you are conscious, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you.
Thank you.
And
For about 2 more hours.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. So that was a lot of interesting stuff there. So okay, so that was that one with Sarah Davanzo, and
Okay.
I'm gonna read some more.
okay,
insights.
yeah, great.
So she said, you have to represent knowledge. What does culture actually mean? Culture is not a fact, it's a set of beliefs. AI cannot catch that nuance, but it can give you stories. So when using sorry, we're all
Using an IA, I like that.
When using AI, you know when it's hallucinating because you have human intuition to pick up on that.
Good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
When AI can do parts of your job, they went in kind of down a different road. When AI can do parts of your job, costs of schooling for that career will go down, but so will the wage.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not working 60-hour weeks anymore, you're working 40, right? So your wage goes down, and you don't need to work 60 hours to do the menial, like filing or whatever, right? That AI can do. She's very much team human, is how she put it, and the other was very much team AI. Her guess, and then they went into some Q&As. But a lot of profound things were said within that session. And then she ended it with this. We need AI diversity as much as we need human diversity, and look at many AI models and systems before making a final decision. So that was in reference to AI is moving really fast, but adoption is moving slow. We don't trust.
You're right.
Which again
That's
is
it.
another human thing
That's
that
right.
AI doesn't have.
That's right.
Well, we don't trust because it's from all the sci-fi movies they made before. AI loses its mind when it has its deviant, right?
Terminators.
Yes.
Terminators and all that. Yeah, exactly. Right? That's why. We're cautious for all the years they've been warning us. Right?
That's right.
Hello, Dave.
Way back to Stan Kubrick's movie 2001 when
Yeah.
HAL, or IBM.
Yeah.
So did you have
I did one. I went to one other one. Though it doesn't have any real worldview implications, it does, however, land in the realm of festivals because it was called, the title of it was Culture as Ignition Switch, How Festivals Power Creative Economy. We never really went into the economic side of it. I thought we would, but it was interesting because we're at a festival. South by Southwest is a festival. It's a conference with music elements, with artistic elements, all these other components. It's like Burning Man that way. It's got all of these various moving parts that you can go and pursue if you want to. Or you can go and just network and hang out or do whatever. And so we had the vice president of Southwest programming, and we had 3 other representatives who deal in their area of creativity, digital creativity, and also festival design work, festival management. So a lot of questions on how to run a festival, what's the point of festivals. One of the things I took away from it was, and this was repeated, and I think it goes to what's trying to be accomplished in festival culture overall. And when I'm talking about festival culture, I'm not talking about fairs, carnivals. This is not the state fair. We're talking about a social, cultural movement that has, for the last 30, 40 years, slowly built and now is a literally its own growth engine, and that's the whole transformational, experiential festival, which this is. This fits the bill. Burning Man is like the cutting edge on that, but all of these are. And so the thing that I pulled away from that, and they repeated this over again, was we don't look at it as a business. We don't see it as a business model first. We see it first as a way of connecting people, connecting ideas, and bringing the community together. Then the business will flow. I'm like, fascinating. And they're all saying that's our starting point. Any of the festivals that they were discussing that were successful began not as a business model, it began as a community model. It began, even though it was lose money, something snaps. And at one point, they're talking about how, especially some of the bigger festivals that are taking place, where advertisers are brought in, like this one has advertisers, lots of advertisers, lots. And it was even talked about how the early days of South by Southwest didn't have the advertising element we have now. It doesn't have all these complex moving parts, but the advertisers show up because they want to attach themselves to movements. And these are movements. These are culturally disruptive and then culturally reorganizing movements.
How ironic that all of that is based on human interaction
100%.
when the rest of the focus of it is, but AI is the future.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So we'll have to have some kind of augmented AI festival in the digital space.
So the rise of the machine, but with the community of people? What's
Yeah.
that look like?
But doesn't this just show how complex the human experience really is? And all the different hopes and aspirations that are attached to it? And the different ideas that we have to somehow make the world, quote unquote, better?
Well, there's no people, there wouldn't be any AI.
Yeah.
We're creating
That's
our own
right.
destruction.
Right. Yeah. So I thought it was very interesting how they were very focused on, we look at purpose before we look at the business. And then the business, if the purpose is aligned with the people, with the times, if the purpose is aligned with how civilization is already going, the money will flow.
There has to be a need for it. Unless but a lot of times what they do is they invent something and then they create the need.
Right.
Right? Capitalism.
Yeah. So we're seeing all these elements. We've only been here for 3 days.
And all the sessions so far that we've attended, which is like not even a drop in the bucket, is all like connecting all these things.
Yeah. Good. I think the word is
Convergence.
Okay, that's it for our day 3 debrief. Stay tuned for more to come. Thank you.